compassionate people? Welcome to Vegan News. Tons of great stories today. Much happier stories. Let's dive right in and get into it. An Afro vegan cookbook, which is a cookbook that marries a lot of African American cuisine along with some more regional overseas cuisines in the continent of Africa from different areas, and some Caribbean flavor in there as well, is receiving some traction because of an interview on Bon Appetit with the book's author. The book came out in 2014. I found it because of this new article in Bon Appetit. Like everything else I speak about today, it'll be linked down below with all sources cited, and you can read the article for yourself, which I do highly recommend, especially for articles like this that go in depth. The author, Bryant Terry, goes into the idea of food deserts, which he actually does not like that term, in African American communities, and how, for him, he doesn't think that the poor African American community needs to be saved by anybody. That they can work themselves into co-ops and gardens and stores that actually carry vegetables, taking control of their communities as a whole together, basically being the masters of their own fate, which is what we all should be, and it is a great message. It doesn't mean that they can't get a little bit of help here and there to create some of the infrastructure and be given the knowledge that they need to make these things happen. But I definitely agree with him that African American owned businesses along those lines are something much needed in those communities, and I hope people start stepping up more and more. We're seeing that especially in the vegan restaurant movement in urban centers. Down in Baltimore, Maryland, where I have frequented quite a bit, there are multiple vegan restaurants owned by African Americans, and their food is phenomenal. It's the typical kind of soul food, comfort food that you'd be used to, but all vegan and delicious. One of those is actually Land of Cush in Baltimore, which I highly recommend you check out if you're anywhere near the area, near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore. It's delicious. Their mac and cheese is great. Their crab cakes are awesome. Everything's 100% vegan. Not too long ago, actually, probably 6 months ago, they had a really bad robbery where somebody came in and stole the register and literally ran out with the register. It was worth more than probably what was in the drawer. So definitely go there and support them. It's delicious and they need your help. This book looks awesome. I definitely want to go through it one day and check out some of the recipes. But check out the interview. You'll like it. It's he has a lot to say, and it's more than just a cookbook. Over 1,200 public schools in New York City will now be carrying at least one vegan option on their lunch menus for their kids. It's an incredible victory, and it wouldn't have happened without the CHSF, the Coalition for Healthy School Food. They're a nonprofit that works to introduce plant-based foods into schools. Some samples for the vegan menu items are Mexicali chili, lentil stew, lentil sloppy joes, braised black beans with plantains, and zesty barbecue crunchy tofu. And those are just some samples. They make plenty of other things and other options are available. The Coalition for Healthy School Food is making a big impact across the United States in helping to get these type of programs in schools, not just for vegan kids, but to give another option and show and let them taste that there is something else more available. They're doing as much for the movement as somebody going in and saving an animal. Truly, if we can get somebody by their stomachs, especially a child, and educate them early, we can get them to go vegan for life in all likelihood, once we connect animal rights to it. Puerto Rico's poor dairy farmers. They're losing. They lost their entire dairy industry business because of Hurricane Maria. Oh well, that's so sad. In the NPR article, they go on and on a sob story about how the hurricane has destroyed their entire business. There is not one mention of the cows that drowned or the immense cruelty and suffering that is committed by this entire industry. You know, I hope their families are okay and everybody's safe, but I don't care. I don't give a about their business, and I'm sure most vegans don't. They can find other ways to do it, and this entire fluff piece about how we should be feeling bad for them, I don't know, it angered me enough and upset me enough and also kind of made me chuckle enough at their misfortune and them not connecting what they do to others on a regular basis to include it in the show. Go read through the article, maybe leave a comment on it. That would be great. Try and be nice if you can, but leave an article about maybe becoming organic farmers for vegetables or something like that. They could figure out something else. Harvard University students will now have meatball subs that are vegan available to them through Clover Food Lab in association with the Impossible Foods burger / meat mixture that they're using that is molecularly identical to flesh ground beef. It actually contains heme, the substance that is in blood that makes meat taste the way people expect it to, and this heme is plant-based. If you don't know much about Impossible Foods, Impossible Burger, or their meats in general, you can check it out, do a Google, maybe look on YouTube. This is a food truck, and they don't just have meatball subs. They make a wide range of products, burgers, salads, pretty much everything you can imagine that would be on a regular food truck is there, except it's all vegan. It's really great to see Impossible Burger getting out there finally into the marketplace more and more as they grow. Eventually we're gonna see this on grocery store shelves. I know that they're ramping up production to about 1 million pounds of their vegan ground beef per month at their California plant. I don't know if that's still on track. I haven't been able to find any information on it. But that is the goal and target they set for the fall around this time of the year right now in the United States. And I'm pretty sure they've probably met it if they're growing this much. And I know a lot of restaurants have picked up their Impossible Burger product and ground product and all that thing. By the end of this year into next year, we're gonna see a pretty crazy explosion of vegan options everywhere. We already are, but next year is going to be pretty outrageous with all these products coming online in mass production. And finally, in our story of the day, can you guess what it is? You probably already know because it was in the title. What am I thinking? A study conducted by Nielsen through the Plant-Based Foods Association has now released their numbers for 2016, revealing that plant-based foods have broken a record, rising to $3.1 billion a year in sales. That's up 8.1% from the previous years, 2014 and 2015. And it's only expected to grow more and more every year. In this article, the estimate is saying they expect 1/3 of the entire food industry to be plant-based by 2054. But me personally, I think it's going to be far sooner than that. This isn't going to be an extrapolated scale. We're looking at probably 2020 to 2030, in my opinion, being at least half of the market, if not more, given water shortages and food costs going up and up. There's going to be a huge demand for plant-based meats and possibly cultured meats, but we'll see where that goes. That's still up in the air, and that's not what this video is about. So, yeah. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. It was a great day. It's a beautiful sunny day out. It's a little chilly here in Pennsylvania. Much better news today. The day started off a lot better. I just watched a screener for a movie I've had for a while kicking around. I watched it the other day called Empathy. It's a documentary from Spain, and it's being promoted by FADA, F-A-A-D-A. They are an animal rights-based organization, kind of like Mercy for Animals or DXE is here, or maybe a Spanish PETA would be I'm not sure. I don't want to label them anything, but giving you an idea what they're like. They asked me to take a look at it. I'm going to be doing a full review on it, and spoiler, it's a good movie. It has a few little quirks, but they're good. I'll go in depth. I'll be making an entire separate video about that sometime soon, so keep your eye out on that. Also, Friday will be the live stream. Don't forget, 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the United States, and it will be on YouTube this week, and then it'll alternate back to Facebook next week, and then so on and so on. We will just keep doing that and see what kind of results we get. What I would like is if that could be a conversation between me and you guys about each news story of the day on Friday. Or if you'd like, we could talk about a different subject or a different story from the week or whatever. I want this to be not just me by myself, but a conversation that we're always having and refining and learning together. So that's everything, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all so very much. The views on Facebook have been incredible. All right, guys. Love you so much. Thank you. I'll see you again tomorrow. Later.